Hey, what's up? It's Friday, 8 p.m. Friday. I got back from home 3 hours ago. And I feel fucking horrible. I feel anger, bro. Because, yeah, I just feel anger, shame, a lot of anxiety as well. I just took a shower, by the way. Shame, anxiety, anger. Not sadness, not really much confusion, just a lot of anger. Like, I'm fucking angry right now. I'm in the bottom of that oscillation right now, I'll tell you what. Because, yeah, basically got nothing done this week. My fucking hair looks horrible. I feel like I'm going against everything right now. That it's just me against all the odds, which that's fine. It's only makes me angry when I'm realizing the consequences of just not being on the fucking ball. Hopefully this recording isn't cut. I'll be even more mad. But yeah, essentially, this was out of my control. Actually, it was. If I was just rich before and I worked harder before and I moved out and I was actually able to move out earlier, I wouldn't have to do this. But for the present time, I had no choice but to go to this fucking 5-day Thanksgiving vacation. Which the thing I had control over is my current situation. If I had more money, then I would be able to definitely, fucking not go and not waste an entire week. Or arguably it matters, dude, it honestly matters a fuck ton because shit's about to get even harder. And I'm in a point where I'm laying down like the first few impressions for a lot of important things, like the brands I'm working with, being leader for Strike, etc. Even a female that seems like a good person. I don't know her, to be honest, but shit like that, right? And yeah, it's an important week and I fucking blew it. Basically, I'm not too concerned physically because this weekend should be fine, but in terms of the thing that really matters, which is money right now, literally did not produce a single video this entire week. So, at least so far. We're going to try to do some tonight. See what we can do out here. I could definitely do some talking heads with that backdrop. It wouldn't be optimal, but it would be definitely something. Which, yeah, I'm probably not going to get enough sleep tonight, but I think that's honestly fine. I've been sleeping in a shit ton this entire week, so I'll be fine. A big plus, though, is that I did not overeat this week, even though it was Thanksgiving week. I haven't weighed myself. I got food in my stomach and a lot of liquid, so it wouldn't be optimal. But I did not eat horrendously, and I also I went an entire week without touching myself, which mathematically is a pretty big outlier, as embarrassing that is to say. So that's also something to consider. But what am I getting at here? I'm fucking angry because let me try to slow this down, even though I'm not walking fast, just so I can hear myself a bit better. Yeah, this is a fucking important week to make money. I did nothing. And it's super fucking important. I actually got so mad in the car. I really wanted to punch the fucking window or just started cursing out my mom and my sister. But that's not the right thing to do, obviously. So I just wrote it down in a document. What am I mad about? Honestly, don't remember a lot of it. I just kind of recorded this impulsively. I'm not going to check either because I'm going to have to make a different video file. But some of the things is that I'm in a weird spot right now because I understand money, I understand value, I understand my goals a lot, which my 2 goals are just lose weight and make money. Pretty fucking simple, right? Not that hard to understand. But now I'm in this spot where I'm starting to be like, Nick, get your shit together, because I think exploring like dating and stuff would be really beneficial, and it would help me grow a lot. It would be a very nice, like, I think it's time for that transition, bro, because yeah, I've been pretty much in fucking solitude for the last couple of years, which is, it's not horrible, but it's pretty horrendous, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fine in the big picture, but there's like that very subtle silver line of like just being horrendous, you know, which there's more stuff I gotta improve on. Right now my 2 focuses are money and my looks. Pretty self-evident. That's pretty fundamental. But other things are gonna be my social skills, emotional intelligence. That's pretty much about it. Cause yeah, thank fucking God, I'm learning, you can call it, I'll just call it dating advice for simplicity's sake, from people who are actually smart, I think, because it makes sense. Like, there's no tricks. Yeah, you have these things to like artificially make scarcity, but it's almost like cold calling scripts in the agency, you know? They're just shiny objects. What it comes down to is social calibration, knowing how that fucking dynamic goes between a male and a female in a relationship. And then the most fundamental thing is like actually being someone worthy of being with. Crazy concept, right? And those are very simple things, but they're hard to accomplish, which is why people create these instant gratification things like these methods and tactics and yada yada. That's like the whole fucking, I don't know if it's the red or black pill, I don't know what pill it is, but it's a certain pill. I think it's like the red pill or some shit. I don't know, but there's a certain niche of people. They're like, most dating coaches are like all the tactics and bullshit, right? Anyhow, I'm starting to get more acquainted with the domain of life of relationships, and I'm starting to realize how important it is for me to actually get my shit together. Like, it is so imperative that I actually lose this weight. It is so imperative that I actually save some money and not be fucking poor if I want to pursue something like that. Like, it's just not happening if I don't have the stuff, you know? And then also the social skills and stuff, but I think I need to get one thing at a time. Sorry, I thought someone was gonna walk in on me. Cause yeah, I'm also gonna talk about that too, because I'm just very angry at my current situation. It's kind of hitting me how much it's holding me back, you know? But yeah, the most fundamental thing would be my fucking physical vessel and my resources, right? So that comes first, even though those are pretty hard things, because that's gonna be honestly, bro, those 2 things are the most, in terms of my goal, compared to my goal, I have the least affinity to them, meaning I have the farthest way to go. I'm very fat, I'm very broke. So changing that would be a huge change at identity, which is why I was scared of the goal in the first place. And therefore, those are going to be the hardest things out of anything, I think. Everything after that will be difficult, but it won't be so fucking difficult. Or not, I shouldn't say difficult. It won't be as, you could say challenging. It won't be as challenging as changing the weight thing or changing the money thing. That's it. So that's another thing, is I'm starting to realize how important it is to get this shit together. Like, sorry, I'm blanking. Get it together quickly, preferably as fast as possible. And yeah. So yeah, that's that. Now, let me talk about this past week, because that's what's got me pissed off in the first place, right? And I just gotta learn lessons from this and iterate and move forward. Because even though my circumstances are very, 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 very much not ideal, it's my responsibility for what I do. So I need to just become that person. Or else, I either don't become the person. I either become the person or I sacrifice everything, which is the goal. And at that point, you might as well just kill yourself, right? So yeah. What am I mad about? Okay, so this past week, I'm trying to see how fast I could walk without being too loud. I low-key should just walk. I'm low-key just, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat a quick dinner and I'm going to walk around the neighborhood instead. See you guys later. All right, that was successful. That was a decent dinner. All right, so what the fuck am I mad about? Yeah, so given that I gave all that context, which is like where I'm at right now, the little transition I'm making psychologically, why everything's important, my paradigm on the new thing, which is like relationships, etc., the new things like being a leader in strike and all this shit. I gave you guys all the context. It's time to talk. Yeah, so very simply, we went on a Thanksgiving trip. It was from literally, we left on Monday morning and we got back at Friday at 5 fucking p.m. So I mean, if you put work math together, that's basically the whole week. Because they got strike on Saturday and Sunday. And that's one thing. And so what happened is that my environment changed pretty drastically, pretty quickly, unexpectedly as well. Because I didn't even know I was like leaving until like, dude, I don't remember if it was the day before I left for the weekend or if it was like during the weekend. But all I know is that the previous week, I was not expecting to leave the next week. I thought it was like, I knew I was going on that trip, but I thought it was like a week, or I thought it was like 2 weeks in advance, or 3 weeks, not 1 week. Or sorry, not the next week. Right? And so it also what I'm trying to say is that it caught me off guard. And so environment changed quickly, drastically, and I was pretty off guard about it too. And so, yeah, that kind of fucked me. Sorry, I'm approaching some people. Hopefully they don't intercept me. Yeah, we're chilling. But, yeah, that happened. But here's the caveat, okay? But I'll touch on the environment thing. The only credibility I can give to things that are just how they are outside of my control is that, environment is a big indicator of how you behave. I'll say that. I'll give myself that credit. I'm basically just coping, by the way. And there's hella people having Black Friday parties. So that's incredible. But, yeah, environment's a big indicator. And the other thing is that, because of that logic, when you change your environment pretty drastically, it's hard to not change, This is why people who travel don't get a lot done, including my friend Owen. When he was traveling from like Dubai and Thailand and fucking Barcelona and back to America, he didn't get a lot of shit done. He gets a lot. They always, all the friends of that caliber, they always say that, when they lock in, they just stay in one place for like 6 months, which is pretty evident. You just do the same shit every day. You're aligned. You just do it. It's like flow state, It's like, it's the same, dude, it's the same fucking principle as focus, which is like, instead of switching tasks every 5 minutes, you just do one thing for 3 hours. And whoop-de-doo, you get a lot done. You get a lot more done because you're not You're not always adapting, because there is a lot of energy expenditure with adapting and changing. But whatever, that's all whoop-de-doo. I can't change that. No more reason to bitch about it. But I'm just laying that down to give myself some credibility, because it's one thing if I was at home for 3 months and I just started to do dumb shit, as opposed to, something like a Thanksgiving vacation. Now, here's a part that I'm pissed about, because I can't escape this truth. But I definitely could have locked in. It was definitely not impossible. Like, it would have been pretty damn impossible if we were, like, in a fucking cabin, like a one-bedroom, like a cabin where it's just, like, one bedroom and a tiny kitchen. And that was all I had to work with. And, like, we were just doing random shit every day that I was forced to partake in. That's one thing. And that I had trips like that before. And at that point, I just said, fuck the month at that point. Like, that was the June vacation of this year, which happened in June. It happened for, I think it was like 3 weeks, but I actually got shit done, because all I had to do is phone calls and leads. It was pretty simple, and just service delivery. I was doing a lot of service delivery, so that was that. And I actually, that was good, because I got the work I needed to do before the vacation started, like getting the clients. And then during that little 3-week vacation, I was completely fine just not going after more clients and just serving the ones I had. So that was a pretty lucky scenario. This was a less lucky scenario, where at this point in time, I really just need to grind. Like, I need to this is the time, That's all I can fucking say. I have the opportunity to make more income than I ever made. I have the opportunity to increase my income faster than I ever had. And it all just comes down to quality of inputs and consistency of inputs, which, by the way, I've already proven to myself and my managers that I'm more than fucking capable of, like, doing super fucking well. And so, literally, for me, if I'm just consistent in the weekly basis, not a daily basis, if I was consistent over multiple weeks, not just 1 week, then, dude, I'm more than on the path to, like, fucking 4, 5, 6K, 7K a month. 6, 7, Sorry about that. Okay, rant over. I'm getting a little bit distracted. I'll try to fit this in a journal. Hopefully my storage doesn't run out, because I know I haven't uploaded journals in a long time. Okay, given that more context was given, let me think. Okay, I'm just like overly giving context. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so Thanksgiving vacation, environment changed drastically. Here's the thing, though. We rented an Airbnb. It was huge. We had a whole literally, there was a garage. Okay, the only thing I did not have, guys, was a place with natural lighting that I could have recorded in without people being there. That was the only downside, to be honest with you. The backyard was pretty shit. The entire backyard was see-through, so if anyone was in the house, they would be able to see me if I was in the backyard. And the best place for me would be the garage, because the garage, garages naturally have more soundproofing. They're bigger, they're made by bricks and shit. You get the point. More soundproof. The only con was the lighting. And so I had this little iffy moment where I was like, don't record, no, yes. I was just like fucking being an idiot. But there was a place I could have recorded, and that was in the garage. The garage was very fucking nice, by the way. It was big. It was literally air conditioned. The lighting wasn't too bad. It's indoor lighting, so it's gonna look shit on camera, but not even that much, to be honest with you. To be honest, I could have definitely recorded videos in that garage. Would it be optimal? No. And maybe there is a little bit of the reason I wasn't locked in. I'm just gonna say it, by the way. I did not record a single video this week. That's why I'm mad. But I probably should have said that in the very beginning. But whatever, guys. Look. There's probably, I knew one thing that was definitely I was doing to myself was that I had this little fear of, like, I don't want to post half-ass videos to, like, my brand owners and, like, let them down and shit. And I want to be the best student possible. So, recording in the garages with the lighting is not optimal. I should not do videos in the garage. It would be the same. It would feel like the same thing if I was, like, recording videos on the street when there's no light, or like in my garage or even like in the bathroom or some shit, you know. It felt like that. We're just like, it's just not optimal. Don't want to do it. So there was a little bit of that resistance, which by the way, that's just resistance. So there was that resistance. And the other big fucking mistake I made, by the way, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm transitioning from external factors and I'm transitioning to things that I could have controlled that I fucked up on. And it's the reason why I'm mad at myself and a little bit of the situation that I was put in. But I still gotta like recognize that was my fault. If I was rich earlier, I would not be in this position. But you know, at the present moment, I couldn't control if I was in the Thanksgiving vacation. I just had to deal with it, and the way I dealt with it was bad. So yeah, just gotta fucking learn from that. But it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's also it's a Nick, you gotta be better thing. Which it's a sucky situation, you know, when you're put in a tough position and you react bad to it, because you have this part of you where it's like, I could have done better. There's also a part of you where it's like, dude, I know if I wasn't put in this position, I'd be fine. Which makes it so it's a weird gray area for sure. Weird gray area for sure. But yeah, so just to recap, and I'll go a bit more because there's a lot more shit. Huge change in environment. It was a Thanksgiving vacation, okay? So we had more people in one house. House was a lot less lonely the entirety of the week. Even when we said that we were alone, there was 6 people in the house. Or even, I think it was like 7 people in the house. It's a lot of people, bro. And yeah, it's just annoying. External change of conditions. That said, though, the things that I fucked up on, the things that like were going for me though, that this house was suitable to make videos in. I could have definitely fucking walked in. Now let me get into my mistakes. Number 1 mistake, I ditched my entire routine.